All right. We about to go live, y'all. Peace, Islam. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is Moors in America. This is our platform. It's for us, by us. Today we're going to be speaking with Sheik Molden Bey, Grand Governor out there in Texas. You haven't tuned in before. After this, go back on the channel and look at the videos. This is our third session. Call it Moorish Mondays. All right. We're gonna do this at least no less than once a month, but once or twice a month, right? And if you have any questions that we don't cover today, just send them to me at Bey@moorsinamerica.com. That's Bey, like BEY at moorsinamerica.com, or you can just comment on here, and whatever questions you have, we'll ask the Sheik. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we're gonna get it popping live. We got some questions. He's gonna answer them, and we're gonna play some Moorish music for a minute, get everything up and running. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that share button. All right. Make sure you hit that share button. Okay. All right. And okay, I see we all right. I see we already have some questions in the chat. So we'll take those down. So like I said, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat. If you're watching this after the live broadcast, just comment them below. And if we don't get to it today, we will definitely ask the Sheik later on, like on the next one. All right. So this Moorish Mondays, you tuning in. You're going to be live with Sheik Molden Bey. All right. So definitely don't go anywhere. I want to say again, make sure you click like and share. You have to share this. All right. We need to spread this information out there. All right. So thanks again for tuning in. We're going to do a screen share. Y'all check this out. Peace and love. All right, all right.
I was born in 1987. That's when my mother put me down in the race. They had me down for the last place. Started out with nothing, but you know I got it all. No fear, my nephew gotta beat the charge. But the police tell me where your arrest warrant. No, I'm not a U.S. citizen, and I don't take pleas. I'm the general, and don't threaten me. That's your funeral. Be careful what you call me, it's a silver suit. And no, it ain't no money, cause it's all a loop. I had to use my credit trying to get the coup. Screaming LRP while I'm in the fruit. A girl named Lydia, she got the juice. She love to call my name like Beetlejuice. A whole nother dimension had to leave you. And it's up to my people, man, we coming through. Except for the value, man, that's what it do. I hope in good faith that your honor true. Unconditional standards, cause I don't owe you. My whole team acting like creditors. And you can keep that cash, cause we ain't debtors, bruh. I write my own contract. And let us mad, cause I ain't even hit back. Yeah, leg was mad, cause I ain't even hit back. Said I write my own contract. They was getting mad cause I ain't even hit back. This is Morehouse next day. Yeah. Morehouse race. Yeah. LRP. BDHS. I done made a lot of money last year. Fuck it. I done had a lot of pain last year. Fuck it. I'ma make a lot of money this year. We run it up, tell them run it this year. I'ma be the man this year. Make them understand this year. Put it in my plan this year. I'ma stop my business all year. This is all year. I done made a lot of money last year. Fuck it. I'ma make a lot of money. I done made a lot of. I was set up for my game last year. But I done felt a lot of pain last year. Fuck it. They really tried to fuck my name last year. I had me in the cage, feeling rage almost every days last year. I said, fuck it, I'm cut for this shit. When them shackles was cutting my wrist, I got out the cutting in the mix. Now this chick want to cut in the six. So ahead, don't get cut in this bitch. Suicide, all these cuts in my wrist. Who am I to not hustle live to get me in mind of this luxury shit, of a voluptuous wit. I can plan, I can grow it. I'm the man, and you know it. Yeah, I go ham, I'm a poet. 100 bands, we can show it. Yeah, ain't nothing stopping me. Take this game and then make a monopoly. Turn your back, it's too late, you were opting me. All that bitch can wait, I'm just properly. They say this broccoli, yeah. I done made a lot of money last year. Fuck it. I done had a lot of pain last year. Fuck it. I'ma make a lot of money this year. We run it up, tell them run it this year. I'ma be the man this year. Make them understand this year. Put it in my plan this year. I'ma stop my business all year. This is all year. I done made a lot of money last year. Fuck it. I'ma make a lot of money. I done made a lot of. I done made a lot of money last year. Lost a couple homies last year. Now I'm feeling lonely this year. Yeah. We ain't got cry no more. Got cry this year. I don't wanna see my niggas on base selling nickels and dimes this year. I ain't tryna go back down. I done gave too much of my time last year. I ain't tryna go back down. I done gave too much of my time last year. All money good, I'ma rap for my nigga. Right here to the sky, I'ma laugh for my nigga. Dressing all black and go viral, you niggas go forward with a sword. Die for my nigga. Turn to an angel and fly for my nigga. Who the heaven and I will right die for my nigga. Lifestyle ain't good, but you gotta forgive us. It's not what we built, it's the life that was given. of my niggas away, make the future look bright for my niggas. Lost all the money, but gained it right back. Throughout the struggle, remain in the track. That one around, I forget me for that. I made a lot of money last year. Fuck it. I done had a lot of pain last year. Fuck it. I'ma make a lot of money this year. We run the club, tell them what it this year. I'ma be the man this year. Make them understand this year. When you get my plan this year, I'ma stop my business all year. This is all year. I done made a lot of money last year. Fuck it. I'ma make a lot of money. I done made a lot of enemies. Please watch your tone when you step to me. Ain't no offending me by the way you see all that energy. Only break cause he drink on that energy. Say your name when you fake it in the industry. Lays at your memory. I get blasted off of memory. Then it come up like epiphany. Watch me come to me in misery. On the come to the history. Cause I done made a lot of rainy days and problems. I done faced a lot of Gucci hates and sour. I done came about it. Obstacles are honor. Now I want to sign it. Louis ain't about it. I done came about the mud. I deserve to wash it off. How we living off of crumbs, we deserve to have it all. If you get tested and fall, it's lessons involved. Hold your head till the blessings are called. Best believe we ain't stressing at all. We resting the ball. I done made a lot of money last year. I done had a lot of pain last year. I'ma make a lot of money this year. We run it up, tell them what it this year. I'ma be the man this year. Make them understand this year. When they get my plan this year, I'ma stop my business all year. This is all year. I done made a lot of money last year. Fuck it. I'ma make a lot of money. I done made a lot of money.
Islam. All right. Y'all hyped up. What's up? Y'all hyped up? Peace. What's up? So once again, for everybody just tuning in, we're gonna be speaking with the Sheik Molden Bey, coming out of Texas, coming out of the Dallas area, right? Grand Governor out there in Texas. This is Moorish Monday. So for those that's new to this, go back through the archives. All right. This is our third session. So you can go back on there, look at Moorish Mondays. He's been answering the questions that y'all been having, right? So this is going to be a great show. You definitely want to click the like and the share button. You want to spread this around. I see we already have some questions in the chat, so we're going to get to that. And we already have some questions too. So yeah, the previous bills were positive. You definitely want to check those out if you haven't already. Click like and share. I'm gonna go ahead and run it back, play one of those videos again. We're gonna get the Sheik in here. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll be up and popping in just a few minutes. So don't go anywhere, and I will have the Sheik on here, Molden Bey. Once again, if you have questions since you're live, you can type them in the chat. If you're watching this after the fact, just comment them or contact me at bay@moorishinamerica.com, right? So if you hit me up at bay@moorishinamerica.com, I'll take your questions down and we will ask the Sheik later on. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Just stay, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. So make sure you click like, okay? And we'll be with you in 1 second. I'm gonna do the screen share. Just stay with me. All right. So thank everybody for coming on in.
Yeah. Passport on the user. Yeah. I came away from far. Yeah. I'm sitting down right past the law. Yeah. I see the people and they go along. Yeah. Passport on me, no surrender. I keep it going, man. Government is straight fresh. Like Johnny Jones, you know I'm late stuff with the law. I swear to God, man, it's got me standing real strong. And nationality, get all the other day. You play with me, you might see me in the court the next day. Yeah, I got the fever. I leave her with the fever. I'm moving with the beaters. You know the swag leaders. I'm the fire burner. Yeah, yeah. I'm the fire burner. Yeah, yeah, I got the fever. I leave her with the fever. I'm moving with the beaters. You know the swag leader. Yeah, I'm the fire burner. Yeah, yeah. I'm the fire burner. Yeah, I'm the man to hold the law. And you know about that. Yeah, I'm stuck somewhere. Yeah, put your head. Yeah, I'm sure I'm a witness to this. Yeah, hold my hand and I press it into my people. I swear to God, when I did law, I swear that we ain't equal. And being black will get you killed. After real stuff, I was God. You know, I your back. Got to target when you standing, when you grinding down. These people ain't in shit. I'm the one standing in the furnace and running and I'm burning. Swear that I'm burning, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got the fever. I leave them with the fever. I'm moving with the eagles. You know the swag, niggas. I'm the fire burner. Yeah, yeah. I'm the fire burner. Yeah, yeah, I got the fever. I leave them with the fever. I'm moving with the eagles. You know the swag, niggas. I'm the fire burner. Yeah, yeah. I'm the fire burner. Yeah. Yeah. It's love, son. 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 Peace and greetings. It's love, son. Respect the treaties. It's love, son. Honor my prophet. It's love, son. For my Glock get poppin'. You are now listening to the sounds of the real. I spin that move back, my style you can feel. My homie hit me up, said my songs give him chills. He lacked knowledge himself, my music helped him build. He came home from a bid, was always with the shits. Just a little while, homie fell in love with the flicks. With this, that righteous, that conscious vibration of lift, pulling humanity out of the matrix. Give a fuck about your cars and jewels. You can take it with you when you die. That's the most high rules, affiliated with the gods and ghouls. If you go against the grain, you know you fooled. I meditate under stars and moon. This is real life. Tighten up. This is no cartoon. It's metaphysical. These rappers is not lyrical. It's too easy for me. You know competition, dude. Turn me up while you ride real slow. Up. Rolling light and let your eyes get low. If you in need of that real, let me know. Just dial 1-800 Moorish General. It's love, son. Peace and greetings. It's love, son. Respect the treaties. It's love, son. Honor my prophet. It's love, son. For my Glock get poppin'. It's love, son. Peace and greetings. It's love, son. Respect the treaties. It's love, son. Honor my prophet. It's love, son. For my Glock get poppin'.
All right, peace, Islam. Thank you everybody for tuning in. All right. Look, y'all know how we do. If you don't, just check it out. This is how we do. Basically, this is Moorish Mondays. At least one Monday a month. In law willing, we do it twice a month. We speak with Sheik Molden Bey. You guys have questions, he's coming with the answers. All right, and that's basically how we do it. Real simple. And we doing it right now. We about to get it starting. I'm about to invite the Sheik in here. I see some people ask some questions in the chat. We already have some questions, but if we have time, we'll get to those. If we don't do it today, we'll definitely get to it next time. For those that don't know, we give honors here. Okay, so first and foremost, much praise to Allah, Most High, Father of the universe. We always give honors to our divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, for bringing us our divine creed, for bringing us our nationality, for establishing the Moorish divine and national movement, for us, for teaching us how to love instead of hate. All right. A lot of us don't really know how important this is. A lot of us are running with the tag Moorish. A lot of people are running with the tag indigenous and don't even know that a lot of this, most of this information and knowledge came from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Okay. So I didn't mean to get off while I'm giving honors, but that's how we do it, man. And so we give honors to the forerunner, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, for preparing the way for our prophet. We give honors to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheik, Brother E. Mealy Ill. We give honors to the current Supreme Grand Sheik, Brother David Bailey Ill. We give honors to the Supreme Grand Council. We give honors to all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Matter of fact, we give honors to all active Moors out there. Honors to all faithful Moors of the world. Okay, and honors to you for watching this and not just watching like you being entertained on TV, because this ain't entertainment, for actually sharing this video to spread the knowledge, wisdom, and information, because that's what it's about. We don't just watch. This ain't just something you could be watching Netflix, or you could be watching, some reality TV or something like that, but you're not. You're watching something that's sharing information, knowledge, and wisdom. And so we appreciate you, and we also appreciate you for clicking that share button, because you know how important it is to spread this information, to put other Moors on, to let people know what's really going on out here. And so that's why I say always we give thanks to you. Okay. And so basically, like I was saying earlier, how we do Moorish Mondays, we bring in the Sheik Molden Bey out of Texas. People have questions, he answers them. If we don't get to them today, we will get to them next time. We're not throwing any questions out. We're not shying away from anything. We're not scared of anything. Okay. So, you bring in the questions, we'll get to it. And like I said, even if you don't hear us get to it today, we'll get to it next time. And if you're watching this after the live, just hit us up in the comments or just send an email to bay@moorsinamerica.com. And the Sheik should be on here any minute. But pretty much that's how we're going to do. Let me go up in here and see what people were saying. Okay. Want to say Islam to Elisa Brown. We got your question. All right. We got your question, and I will see if we can ask that today. If not today, we get to it next time. Okay. So this isn't a one-time thing too. So for the people tuning in, just so you know, we don't just do this once. We do this at least once a month, hopefully twice a month. Moorish Mondays. Okay. On this channel, Moors in America. All right. Islam to Jason Frank. Islam Ali Shabazz. Islam Laylo. Islam Michael. Islam Jewel. To Mike Marvel, we got her question. So we taking it down. I already took it down. So if we get to it today, we will. And y'all don't go anywhere. Yeah, just stay with me. All right. Islam TJ Davis. Okay, so a lot of people asking about the Social Security and birth certificate. We even got questions coming up on the side too, on the DM. So look, we're gonna take all this stuff down. I already got a handful of questions. If we have time, we'll get to that today. If not, tune in for the next one. All right. And then also you can go back on the channel and go through the archives, because your questions may have been answered in a previous episode. And yeah, I agree with Mike Marvel about that whole authenticating the birth certificate thing, man. You hear a lot of people saying that. And then the thing is, though, you know, a lot of people don't realize that whole process was coming from the redemption manual. Okay. That wasn't something that we as Moors came up with. All right. So I'm not trying to knock anybody or throw anybody off who's already done something like that. I'm just keeping it real. It's not something that we came up with. It's not something that you need to do. It's not going to help you. And there's nobody out there who's done this with their birth certificate that is better off, or that has actually gotten anything out of it. Right. Somebody asked, okay, Islam to Conway L. Stevens. He asked, how come the temples and temple members never read Noble Drew Ali's message to be read before every meeting? I mean, we read it, we read those writs. All right. So I can't speak for anybody else, but we read those. Matter of fact, even in our study group, just like, somebody was asking about those and I was letting them know, like, we read these before, we go into the Quran and speak, and then we read these afterwards, because he was asking, like, are you going to read these? Because he's trying to find out if we was official. So it's like, I can't speak for anybody else, but I know we do, to be proclaimed at every meeting. We read that. All right. Okay, so I'm thinking that Sheik is having some issues getting up in here. So don't go anywhere. We get him up in here soon. I'm about to send him the link because I don't think he got the email invite. So y'all just stay tuned, stick around. Hang on, I'm about to send you the link. Man. All right. What the heck? All right. That should be it. Dang. Y'all got to be careful with them tassels. All right. Okay, so it look like we're gonna have to get to that question today. The sister's question is similar to some questions elders have prior to nationalizing. Will elders' social security be taken away? Now he actually, I'm gonna go ahead and ask him that, but he actually, Sheik Molden Bey actually answered that in a previous podcast. Is we were asking to somebody that's actually in the military, I think, or either way they were retired and they was worried that, like, going through proclaiming their nationality and all these things, they wanted to know if that was going to affect their benefits, and things like that. And it's like, for the most part, no. Okay. Now, some of the things that you're hearing people say online and stuff like that, of course, it's going to affect it, because you have people telling you that you're not supposed to have a driver's license. You're not supposed to move like this. You're not supposed to do X, Y, and Z. And they're telling you all these things. It's making life more difficult for you. Right. Okay. And so, like, if you're listening to people online, there's no telling what's going to happen. But no, No, it's not supposed to mess up any of that stuff. That's crazy. And I don't think anybody should be out here trying to authenticate their birth certificate. Okay? Like this is for real, because like, do people even know what that means? Y'all even know what that means? Seriously. All right. So we still trying to get the Sheik in here. So just hang on. All right. He's coming in.
Islam, more.
Islam.
Hey,
What's good?
pardon. I was having a technical difficulty. It's Monday. Pardon me. And I'm trying to send. Can you shoot me the link so I can send out? I had a couple of requests, and I didn't want to send him the wrong link. It's on YouTube right now, right?
Yeah, I'm about to send it to you.
That's a bet. Peace and love, more. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Praise the Lord. We live right now.
Yeah, we live, man. It was already some people in here before we got started, man. They
Peace
ready.
and love, family. Peace and love. Pardon Molden Bey's tardiness, man. I'm at work, not working, but I'm at work. So hey, let's get it, man.
All right, we got some more questions too, man. It's actually some questions that several people was asking, so we might need to get into that.
Hey, slide the link to me. I'm ready whenever, man.
All right.
Hopefully, I am.
Yeah. All right, I'm about to get this link.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, while I do that, right, there was a question in the chat. Hang on.
Okay.
All right, yeah. But two people basically was asking this: if I give up my social and birth certificate, how will I get jobs or money? And somebody else said basically the same thing. How do you give up, your social security and birth certificate? Right? People are asking. They're asking about also authenticating the birth certificate.
All right, that's like 4 questions. So I'll start with the latter. Authentication of your birth certificate should be done because you should own your rights. So let's talk Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle talked ownership. So if you know that bond is just that, and everybody's telling you it's a bond, then you should own it. Once you own that bond, you control that bond. And once you control that bond, in a matter of corporate standards, what you're actually doing is you are putting how do you say, you're putting your straw man in a chokehold for the most part, is what you're doing. And so by doing such, you actually have more control than you actually realize. That's the birth certificate.
Now, hang on 1 second. Okay. All right. Now, where would somebody go to do that?
You would. All right. I'll give you the process. You want to first get a copy of your long form and short form birth certificate. So whatever state you are born in physically, you have to contact that state. I apologize, but we good. All right, and we back. All right, pardon. You get a copy, long form and short form. The long form has the doctor's name on it, has the hospital, has both parents' name, has all your information on it, your time of birth. Pretty much all of your identifying records is on the long form. On the short form, it's a condensed version, doesn't have the doctors, doesn't have all your identifying information. It just has your name, your parents' name, and maybe the hospital. But what you do is you get those bonds, you get them authenticated through the Secretary of State from the state that those bonds came from, and then you send those bonds out to the Department of the U.S. Secretary to D.C., and they send you back in full faith and credit those bonds, which basically lets you know that you are now a holder in due course of those bonds. I don't teach that in a temple setting. I don't even speak about that in a temple setting. And because too many people assume that in the temple we're teaching you how to snatch bonds and lay liens and place claims on people. That is not what we teach in the temple. And anybody that's telling you that's what we teach in the temple and that's what the temple should be teaching you is incorrect. It's not correct at all. And then in regards to the Social Security card, the Social Security card is by choice. Your parents, 9 times out of 10, your mother went and applied for that Social Security card for you and got that card for you. But ask any unregistered, undocumented alien here in this country if they need a Social Security card to work and see what they tell you. The answer is no, you do not need a Social Security card. That's not even a need. I have one. I use it if I feel like it. Depends on where I am. Just because I say I'm at work, I'm not a regular W-4 employee. I'm going to always be a 1099 employee anywhere I go. So I contract for the job. Although I may apply for a job, I contract with them. So I use a different number, not a Social Security number, for my tax paying purposes for that portion. And then like the joke says, the way I have my bank account set up and my checkings in my savings account, the way it works, I'm good. I don't mind speaking on these type of things, but I don't teach it.
Islam. So I guess that, yeah, that answered both questions. I mean, like, okay, as far as like authenticating the birth certificate, like, do you know anybody that's actually worked out for them? Like, you know, because people are thinking they're gonna get all types of benefits from it. There's confusion on it because, like when we lived overseas, you know, we had to authenticate it so that we could use it in another country. You know what I'm saying? And like that has nothing to do with what you're saying. So I'm saying, like, as far as
it does.
You know anybody?
It wholeheartedly has everything to do. What you're saying is correct. You had to go through the authentication of a birth certificate because you were outside of the country, right?
Yeah, with the consulate, the U.S.
So it was the U.S. consulate.
No,
right?
I'm sorry, no, it was the Brazil consulate.
All right, and so in Brazil, do they even have birth certificates?
Yeah,
they do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know on that situation. It was needed for you to do what you had to do. Primarily, I would probably say Brazil wanted to make sure that, one, your citizenship was intact and that you weren't on the run.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And then, two, that was the best way for them to declare your citizenship was by looking at a birth certificate. So they asked you to authenticate it, which puts you in ownership of it. And now Brazil can deal directly with you. And guess who Brazil does not have to deal with on your records?
Okay.
They won't have to deal with the U.S. They deal with you directly. So, yeah, there's some power in it. You know, just at the time, you were using it for what it was needed to be. No, it don't come with no check at all. However, if you know how to play the contract law and the way they do things in contract law, then you'll understand that, you know, for the most part, this is how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm good. I haven't had any troubles. I mean, I didn't, you know, it wasn't like a genie's lamp popped up and then, you know, all these wishes came with it. No, but I can tell you that certain things do work in my favor at times.
Okay, Islam. All right. we're gonna go ahead and go into some of these questions that we already had. Some of these are basic, then some, might take a little bit more research and understanding for some of the people watching, depending on how long you've been studying Moorish science, Moorish nationality. Uh, the first one, though, is real basic, just like what is nationality?
Man, nationality is by definition, nationality is the quality or character which arises from the fact of a person belonging to a nation or state. It determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance, while domicile determines his civil status. It arises either by birth or by naturalization. Now, if you think about what you just said in regards to the Brazil and the birth certificates demonstration, that actually is why Brazil had to do what they had to do with you. You had to be belonging to a nation or state. It determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance, while domicile determines his civil status. Brazil had to use all of that on your birth certificate in your regards. So nationality is the quality or character which arises from the fact of a person belonging to a nation or state. The Negro, the Black, the colored does not have a nationality.
Okay, so you kind of answered the second question, or at least hit into it. Just why it's important for the so-called African Americans, so-called blacks, to know what their nationality is.
Right.
Right.
I would definitely encourage ones to look up words like repatriation, expatriation. You know what I'm saying, and understand, what it means to repatriate yourself. Repatriation is a process that was supposed to be done during the time of
the Freedmen's Bureau.
Well, that came about during when? When did the Freedmen's Bureau come?
Well, after Reconstruction.
And that came about when?
The 1860, 65, 66.
That's your Civil War. That's your 13th Amendment. That's your Emancipation Proclamation. You know what I mean?
Islam.
Yeah, that right there goes into why you had to have the Freedmen's Bureau. What was supposed to happen was in the Freedmen's Bureau, you and I were supposed to go in there, proclaim our nationality, get citizenship status, get our 40 acres and our mule, and then we were supposed to go and live happily ever after, I guess,
Yeah. Okay, so what's the difference between citizen with the uppercase C and then with citizen with the lowercase c?
Status.
Can you elaborate on that?
A lowercase c citizen, you Dred Scott. You have no status. You're not a real citizen. An uppercase C citizen, one who has proclaimed their nationality, one that has stepped up into the affairs of men, one that has corrected their status, and is no longer, in our case, no longer seen as Negro, Black, or colored. Now, they're going to tell you in theory that it means nothing. But we know that it does because we can literally find it in text in both lowercase c and uppercase c. In contracts, sometimes lowercase c citizen is more of an adjective versus where the uppercase c citizen is more of the noun.
And when you say where it's found, are you talking about in the Constitution, like in the amendments? Like what are you talking about?
Yeah, or even in any type of laws like the United Nations Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People, the United Nations Declaration of Rights of the Child. Anytime you talk about status, you're going to have the question of citizenship to come up. And so again, it varies from being an adjective to describe the type of person or a noun to tell you the type of person.
All right. So you said status. What's the meaning of status?
Gotta have that love, man. Status is pretty much what they use to garner you. I don't have Black's Law Dictionary in front of me, but status is based off of I'm trying to think of a word that I could use that would make sense in regards to your status. It allows people to determine what type of person you really are. And that's going to be a tricky thing here within the next 5 to 10 years.
Why is that?
Because people are doing transgender operations.
Oh, yeah.
And so the status of the being, B-E-I-N-G, is going to physically change, while the status of the person is what we're talking about. The status of the person is what we're talking about when we speak about status is a law term. You're either going to be in propria persona or you're going to be per se. Okay.
So, yeah, Black's Law Dictionary. It's a 6th or 7th edition.
What does it say for status?
One, it says a person's legal condition, whether personal or proprietary, the sum total of a person's legal rights, duties, liabilities, and other legal relations, or any particular group.
Stop. You just read a word in there 3 times. And so when you talk about status, you're talking about what?
Person.
That and legal. Remember I said a minute ago, but lowercase c citizen is usually describing the type of person, and uppercase c citizen is telling you what type of person by noun, right? Yeah. Legal, conforming to the law, according to law, required or permitted by law, not forbidden or discounted by law, good and effectual in law.
Okay.
So every time you read about status and that term legal comes, you're dealing with lawful. And that's why I say status deals with your persona. Are you proper or are you per se? And per se, you would need a prosecutor to speak for you in a court. Appropriate persona, you could speak for yourself.
Islam.
Because you're in proper status. You're in the right legal ramifications to be able to deal with yourself.
Islam. Okay. All right. What's the meaning of jurisdiction?
Jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is where you find yourself asking about status. Jurisdiction is where you are bound by the laws, the legalities, the statutes. That's a good one. Jurisdiction, man, is just your surroundings. Like right now, you're in your jurisdiction, and in your jurisdiction, you can set your laws how you want them to be. You have children, you could set a bedtime law, you could set a dinner law, you could set an allowance law, you could set any type of law you want within your jurisdiction. Okay? Now, for a person such as ourselves, and we're talking about all the terms everybody wants to talk about: citizenship, status, nationality, And all this, right? It all relates to the legal ramifications of the person and the being. There is a difference, okay? And so jurisdiction is where you find yourself oftentimes, and you want to be in good jurisdiction so that you can have some favorable responses. Again, I don't know, what does Black's Law Dictionary say for jurisdiction? I would like to know now.
Man, I already know it's going to say something about the authority of the court.
Makes sense.
Okay, the government's general power to exercise authority over all persons and things within its territory. Court's power to decide or hear a case or issue a decree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, basically what I would say to you is you don't really want to be in somebody else's jurisdiction. But oftentimes you can't help but to find yourself there. So this is why you have people saying that Moors should do this and do that, and Moors should do this and do that. Okay, cool. You Moors keep doing that and see what luck you have. You are not in Spain anymore, Moor. So you do not rule Europe anymore, Moor. All right? You are in America. Okay? Now, unless you can prove that you weren't born here in America, then your nationality is going to be reflected as such. Meaning, they're going to know where you're from. Why are we Moorish Americans?
Islam, that's a good question.
Right? Because we are born here in America and we are descendants of Moroccans. That's the Prophet Noble Jew Ali's lessons. I've heard people say that they are a Moor American. No, you are a liar American, because there's no such thing as a Moor American. Moorish pertains to the society and culture from where a Moor comes from. You could be a Moor from the tribe of Fulani. You could be a Moor from the tribe of Wolof. You could be a Moor from the lineage of Berbers. You could be a Moor with Arab bloodline. Those are 4 different types of Moors.
Islam.
Okay? You could read about them in books that Dr. Ivan Van Sertima wrote. I can't think of the other brother, the Golden Age of the Moors in Spain.
Yeah.
You could read about the different type of Moors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But in January 8th, 1886, when the Prophet was born, and he was divinely prepared by Allah to govern and come for us, he came saying that we are Moorish American. He said, what is your nationality? Moorish American. What is his nationality? Moorish American. He didn't say anything about being Moor American, Hebrew American, Canaanite American, Moabite American. Get out of here with that. Anybody that's telling you anything other than Moorish American, he false flagging and he not with the set.
Islam. We're not implying any gang ties either, but that is, because there was somebody who asked that question. They said that they actually, I forgot who he said, somebody they know had a card, like a nationality card that said more American instead of Moorish. So,
hey, Douglas said,
Islam.
You know what? You're right. We not a gang. Maybe we should be. Okay, because you try to run up on one of these gangs talking about you down with them. You weren't. I don't want to throw. You didn't go through the proper ranks to come through this gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think you just gonna be able to walk up on the gang and just hang with the gang?
Nope.
Man,
Well,
do you
you know
know how
what?
many?
Now back in the day, I
Hey,
don't
I'm
know
gonna keep
what they're doing now, but back in the day,
in certain parts of the country is crazy.
yeah.
Man, you saw what happened March 31st, 2019 in front of that man's shop, just like the rest of the world did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? That brother was at home.
Mm-hmm.
For lack of a better word, he was at home. But let me build a story up for you that they're not talking about, man. He told an ex-friend of his, an ex-comrade, an ex-associate from the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, you're not welcome here. Your backstory, you done did some things that's foul, man.
Yeah.
Get up out of here. Not so much out of disrespect, but on the strength of the set, if somebody see you right now, they might start blasting at you, and me standing next to you, I might get hit.
Yeah.
Fam, that's street rules, man.
Uh-huh.
Look here, man. Some of your people out there, man, need to be told, man, to get up out my face, man, because if they start shooting at you, I don't want to get hit, fam.
Yeah. Islam.
I'm gonna just be honest, Mo. We gotta get out of this, man. We gotta get out of this nonsense that say, man, look, one temple, one prophet, and one God. Why we got so many different sects, S-E-C-T-S? Why we got so many different sects and sections of the Moorish Scientific of America?
Man, people want the egos, other people wanted to be in control. You know, because they was trying to do this while the prophet was still alive.
They was doing it, but how well did it go? Now think about it. Now that you said it, think about it. They told me they walked in the temple and took the prophet out. Fam, I can't see me being anywhere where the prophet is, who supposedly brought me divine creed and nationality and all this, and I just let the man take you out.
Yeah.
That's confusing to me. But yet, we see the stories. How many more stories do we see of the police brutalizing our people, and all we do is stand back with a video phone and scream out no? Nah, man. Hey, look, I'm not advocating it. I'm not supporting it. I'm not pushing it. But it's a whole lot of videos out now where you see a lot of people fighting back against these police now, bro. So what I'm saying is this. How is it that the prophet, being the prophet, could be around weak ones that don't let the prophet, like, come on, fam. I can't see that. Unless you set me up. Because from the see, a lot of people, if you really do investigative research, say, man, the prophet, it was going down. Forced to make changes. Think this over. Temple tax enforced by the prophet. Prophet announces his power and authority. Forced to make changes. Hold on, it was something else. Brother, all this was like in 2 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, there's a host of jealousy about me in the movement now. Right? The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah's prophet. Bro, they was coming for him, man.
Mm-hmm.
The same with Nipsey. And I'm not trying to compare Nipsey to the prophet. I'm just trying to get people to look at the situations, man. Look at how things repeat themselves. The same way Malcolm X was being threatened and they were trying to kill him before they actually killed him was the same thing they was doing to Nipsey Hussle. They were trying to kill him before they actually killed him. The same thing they were doing to the prophet. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying all of this because this is why we get all these questions on legal ramifications that we should be discussing, but they should really have no validity as long as we were doing what we were supposed to be doing in the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Yeah.
And all these new people, all these new people with people talking about, oh, this Moor is the new prophet, and I can write up my own charter and make up my own temple and say, man, stop it. Stop it. These people need to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. You don't never see you. I mean, I don't eat fast food, but I'll throw the example. You don't go to Burger King and see somebody with a Wendy's uniform on, somebody with a McDonald's uniform on, somebody with a Hardee's uniform on, all working in McDonald's, bro.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question. If you don't mind, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who is the national spokesperson for the noble prophet Jew Ali?
Right now?
Right now.
I have no idea.
Okay, one more question. Who is the national spokesperson for the Moorish Science Temple of America?
I mean, whoever I say, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who's going to disagree. So, I guess I don't know.
Say what you say.
I mean, I would say, okay, all right, you have the Supreme Grand Sheik.
Which one?
Yeah.
That's the sad thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because deep down, despite personal or not, why is there more than one Supreme Grand Sheik? Now, let me ask you a question. Let me rephrase these questions now real quick, and maybe y'all can make my point, and I'm going to give you back your demo.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the national spokesperson for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Oh, that's easy. Everybody knows or should know that's Minister Farrakhan.
Who is the national leader for the Nation of Islam?
Minister Farrakhan. Now there's other NOI factions that had their own thing, but nope, it's Minister Farrakhan.
One leader. You ever notice they all say the same thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These teachings come from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is why we support our leader, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So it don't matter what minister Muhammad it is from the Nation of Islam, they share that.
Yeah.
Can we say the same thing about the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Nope.
Why not?
I have no idea.
You see him out there?
Yeah.
Explain that. But never mind. I'm on a tangent. Hopefully that answered the question about status, citizen, and jurisdiction, and legal, and nationality. Good question.
Islam. So we're going to keep it moving to the next ones. For the people in the chat, if we didn't get to your questions today, we'll get to them next time. All right, we're going to do this at least once a month. We aiming for twice a month. Okay, so we're going to keep it moving. The next one was what effect did the 13th Amendment to the Constitution have on the slaves in America?
What effect did the 13th Amendment have
on the slaves in America? I mean, I'm looking at this. I mean, like, I'm thinking by slaves, they're referring to us.
Too bad I don't know why. That's the
Yeah.
biggest dupe. Hey, that's the biggest dupe in history.
Uh-huh.
But I'm trying to think of how to answer the question. The 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment didn't come about until you got the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay? The 13th Amendment was needed to be able to get the 13th Amendment was supposed to be every point and section that would give the freed slave citizenship, status, and even nationality. Okay?
Okay.
What 13th Amendment are you speaking of?
All right. So this is speaking about
The reason I asked that question is because the ones that's on the books right now, 13.2,
yeah.
has not ever been properly ratified, which means that it was not ever properly voted in.
Mm-hmm.
The amendment that was properly voted in, and people should Google this, find it, copy it, and keep it. It is the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. And you can purchase that amendment from the Library of Congress. I didn't spend it's like $400, $500 to get it. But I've seen it. It used to be, I think her name was Abundance Child. She had a website, and I think she had a copy of the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. You need to Google it, you need to get you a copy, and you need to see it. All right? That amendment, though, didn't hit the books until they killed Lincoln. He had to put that amendment in his will, man.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wrote the will probably like 2 days before he popped one, before he got hit, bro. Right? So in regards to the 13th Amendment freed or emancipated the slaves in 1863.
Okay, who were the slaves?
Who were they?
Yeah.
Some of them were Slavics, some of them were Celtics, some of them were British, some of them were West Indian, some of them did come off the transatlantic slave trade, not the Middle Passage.
Islam.
So, man, in the first beginning, it was everybody. I mean,
so basically the colonists, you're talking about the colonists who would come into like the Virginia Company and all these places, they'll tell you they were indentured servants. You know,
yeah, man.
they're not telling these are slaves.
Yeah. And you know, I see a brother in there talking about the contracts. The contracts was 4 proclamations, brother. There were 4 proclamations that Abraham Lincoln was working on. Those were the contracts. You're right. And the 13th Amendment is valid. If the 13th Amendment wasn't valid, they wouldn't have removed 13th Amendment with 20 sections off the books and put 13th Amendment with 2 sections on there that put you back into slavery, which is involuntary servitude. So it's a cover up, yes, but we also have to take that shovel and dig it up. We can't cover up the truth and we know it. We dig it up, we take it out, we hold it. That's that. There were 4 proclamations. There was a initial, there was a supplemental, a compensation, and then the actual Emancipation Proclamation. There were 4 proclamations.
Islam.
All right. Hold on. I might even be able to give you them dates. Maybe. Oh, yeah. All right. If anybody's paying attention, September 22nd, 1862 was your initial Emancipation Proclamation. September 22nd, 1862. On December 1st, 1862, Abraham Lincoln made an address before Congress of what he was about to do. On January 1st, 1863, the Compensation Proclamation took effect. The compensation was your 40 acres and a mule. But December of that year was an oath that was issued for all freed slaves. That was the colonization oath, also known as the Oath of Amnesty and Reconstruction. And then on February 5th, 1865, there was a proposed resolution to Congress. Those were not the dates of the proclamations, but those dates will lead you to be able to see the proclamations, which are executive orders. They're executive orders that Abraham Lincoln issued. Okay. Hey, brother Todd P., if you buy that 13th Amendment with 20 sections from Library of Congress, you are making a grave investment for yourself. I would recommend it. Like, it's pricey, brother. It's pricey, but if you get it, it's worth it. I have an old copy, like somewhere put up, but it's worth it. And in Baltimore, for anybody that's in the Baltimore area, I want to say that there's a museum in Baltimore that has a copy of the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. You could actually see it. But the 13th Amendment pretty much emancipated your slaves. But then slaves were free for 2 years. A lot of people don't know this. They were like free for 2 years. They didn't really know what to do. Congress didn't know what to do with the freed slaves, and the freed slaves didn't know what to do. So there, right there, it tells me that whole we came from Africa thing is crazy. Because there was no ships waiting to go back to Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that's what they have us to believe, right? Then it should have at least been 3 or 4 ships sitting off to the side. We could have got back on the boat and just drove ourselves.
Islam. Yeah, well, the handful that they did send back that went to set up Liberia, they were American. They weren't even African. They ain't even have no ties to the land, the people.
See what I'm saying? That was a contract deal right there, man. Man, you just rung a bell with that. That's the oh my goodness. That's a treaty, brother. Man, you just hit a nerve with that. I can't even think about it.
That's a whole nother, that's opening up a whole nother wormhole, because they went over there in Liberia, and they went over there like colonists, basically, working in hand, to set up the little aristocracy and keep the ones down there.
I believe the term is missionary.
Yeah.
That's what they went over there disguised as missionaries, bro.
Islam. So, all right, does the 14th Amendment grant privileges instead of rights?
Nah, the 14th Amendment definitely gives you a privilege. Case in point. You do have a right to travel. Driving is a privilege within the state that you live in, and you have to basically abide by that.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a right to travel, and driving is a privilege. Now, if you want to debate your right to travel in the state that you live in, you got to know contract law solidly, and then you also have to have Anybody trying that right to travel stuff in a large major city, I almost said something else. In a large major city,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you stand a chance with that. Trying to demonstrate right to travel in a small township or small municipality, yeah, you might be able to get away with it. But in a big city where you have sheriffs, marshals, constables, and a police department, you're not gonna make it. In a small township where you might have one sheriff that works in the police department and you only have like 5 police officers, and 2 of them go to your church and the other 3 go to the other church, yeah, try it. Try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go for it. Because you can do something out there. They want to see new laws.
Mm-hmm.
But a big major city, no, I don't recommend you even trying to try that right to travel, man. Because they're only going to let you get away for so long. You're only going to debunk one police officer to where he's just like, man, you got me. I can't even arrest you. You're only going to do that a couple of times, bro. But what you're definitely going to do is they're going to now make a mental note of you.
Uh-huh.
They're going to now make a mental note of your car. They're going to make a mental note of your license tag.
Yep.
You, all of that. You know? So it's not worth it.
All right. This is what I think. Would you say like that whole right to travel thing, instead of, like, I guess you could say like personal protests or whatever people are trying to accomplish, you think it would be better to approach that at a legislative level, maybe getting things done, at your local level, wherever you're at, so that you don't have to stand on that.
You got it right there. That's why I put the post up. I put a post up last week that broke down the 3 branches of the government: executive, judicial, and legislative. And I broke down specifically what jurisdictional offices go with them in your townships so that you can actually see. Yeah. But, hey, man, they make money off of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I always tell people, man, the prophet said we have to be law abiding. So if the people say you need a driver's license to drive their car, get the license, man. Put your fez on. You go down there. You fill out the application. You're not Negro, black, colored. You put in federal race code 663, I believe it is, for Asiatic. You go back if you want to put 667 for more, and I might have them switched up. You put it on there.
Say that again. Federal race code, what?
I think it. Hey, if I'm wrong, go back and look. I think it's federal race code 663, and that should be for Moorish American. And then you have a race. You have a ethnicity code which is 667. I think. Don't quote me on the numbers, but there are race codes for Asiatic and for Moor. Hey, Molden Bey, right there.
Okay.
Is it 463 or 663? Check to make sure. Check to make sure, Bey. And gratitude. I know 667. Hey, Molden Bey, 5 and 2, man. You know what it do. 463 is Moor. 667 is Asiatic. Those are federal classified race codes, and they are recognized.
Okay, can I stop you right there? Okay, so what are we gonna do? How come this information isn't common knowledge? At least for all members of the temple. Like, what's the point of even being in the temple if we don't all know this, right?
The temple is only there for spiritual guidance, Moab.
So how are we gonna get the message out? Like, where are we lacking at? How come we don't know?
because your adepts are not holding adept classes in your temple. Your adepts are not providing classes for the members in the temple. See, I can't teach what we going over on Friday and Sunday, but I can teach this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But then I'm not about to be teaching this and you don't want to catch the prophet's lessons.
Islam, because there needs to be a spiritual maturity. You need to be at the level to do right with the information too. Is Islam.
And keep in mind, we twofold, right?
Islam, spiritual, physical, Islam.
All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm with you. I'm waiting on you to be Grand Sheik.
So with the 2020 census coming up, all this stuff coming up, it's like, are we gonna do something about it, or is that gonna go, come and go?
That stuff don't really. I mean, that stuff really don't apply to us unless we need it to.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get out and examine the conditions, man. We gotta get boots to the ground, bro.
Islam. So, man, I know a lot of people comfortable,
Too comfortable.
Even with, because like I'm gonna tell you, like my experience from living in a third world country, like we have it good here. Even if you think you struggling, you in the hood, you doing bad, we got it good. We got it real good, and we spoiled, and we comfortable. Even with all the things that we feel like the oppression or whatever we going through, we comfortable. We real comfortable, and we don't feel that fire on us, to get people, put the fire up under somebody so they feel like they got to move faster and get it done.
Yes, sir. And that that too comfortable becomes complacency. And when people become complacent, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But gratitude to you, more. Like I say that to you all the time, and I know people don't hear us talking when we talk personally, and gratitude to you for the work that you're doing.
Islam, likewise, brother.
This is a new era of time now. Check out. I threw a flyer up, and I'm gonna send it to you, and you can throw it out to your people, let them see. But Molden Bey is about to go on tour. I'm gonna start right here in my immediate area, and I'm gonna start with these pop-ups because a lot of people really don't know how to function and operate a temple the right way. They're not running the right meetings, man. And so we're gonna get on this Moorish Divine National Movement, bro. So y'all be on the lookout, man, because everything we talking about is governmental stuff. And I'm about to bust y'all in the head. All right. When I put the book out, because I'm fighting with some people right now. I'm fighting with them on a couple of things. But when I put the book out, we coming. All right? We coming. Okay?
Islam. Hey, we were speaking on the 13th Amendment earlier, right? Can you explain why the Prophet said the application of the 14th? There's no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendments.
That's right. That's right.
Why this doesn't even apply to us, basically.
My bad. I got
because you hear a lot of people throwing out the 14th Amendment, and the Prophet said way back then, that for the most part, from my understanding, it doesn't even apply to us.
That is correct. Hey man, let me tell you something about that statement right there. I offended a magistrate with that statement one day, man. And I told him, I said, hey, the 14th and 15th Amendments, man, are not for the salvation of me and my family, man. So I'm not really trying to hear what you're saying. I walked out, but I didn't get good results. That's the wrong button. Yeah. Have a good evening. Hey, it wasn't good for me. Pardon the body, Moors. I'm switching off my shit.
Right good. Islam, peace. Thanks to Ty. Peace for that. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, man. Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I don't need them. Give them to me. Oh,
I
you
need
got it, all right. All right, Moab. Hey,
loud,
gratitude, man.
loud over here. We trying to put the babies to sleep.
Hey, y'all go ahead, man. Hey, the baby came in with a hug. That was so on point. And then my coworker walked in. I turned around. She like scantily clothed. I was like, oh Lord. Last thing we need. Hey, gratitude, Moab. Like, hey, if you want, after you get the babies down, man, give me a holler.
All right, now we good. We good. I'll just say I just got to keep it down. I'm loud over here.
Are we still on? Are we still on?
Yeah, we still live.
All right, my bad, man. I turned around and saw my coworker. I was like, oh God, this is Babylon. I was trying to get out of there. But hey, that's a beautiful thing, and I give thanks to you again for opening up the platform and being willing to do, what it is that you're doing, my bro.
Man, much love, appreciation for that.
No,
And
hey,
like
y'all gonna hear me travel, but I'm down to stay on if you still need me. I'm not tripping.
man, it's all good. I mean, we still here, man. The chat room is still live, man. Everybody's still tuned in. You know, I'm gonna scroll back through the chat to see if we had any other questions to get to. But if you could explain to the people out there why the prophet said the 14th and 15th don't apply to us. Why he said we don't need them for our salvation. That's what I said. They don't apply.
Because your nationality is your salvation, more. Your nationality is your salvation, which gives you your citizenship. So the 14th and the 15th Amendments, the 14th granted citizenship after the 13th Amendment, but they try to get you locked up to take away your citizenship, which then allows you to not be able to vote, right? Which is what the 15th Amendment does. When you proclaim your nationality, you have a right to cast a free national ballot because you are a national now. Remember, we read the definition for nationality.
Mm-hmm.
So the quality and character of your political state arises. You feel me?
Islam.
So from where we stand on that demonstration, I mean, hey, that's why I would say that the prophet said that they don't apply to us.
Islam. All right. I'm looking through the chat. I know we had a couple questions. Hang on a second. And earlier when I was saying like that we got it good over here. I'm not trying to knock anybody that's struggling or going through it right now. I'm not trying to say we, like everybody just living good. I'm saying like a lot of people like that look like us are going through struggle on a whole nother level. Like I know, I thought, I've been in the hood and all this stuff, and I seen, the brothers and sisters in South America, and it was just like something else, something that we never even experienced, So that's all I was implying, that we may be at the bottom or close to the bottom here in North America, but it's on a whole nother level, And so yeah, that makes a lot of us get complacent. Okay, that's all I was attempting to say.
And I mean, hey, what you saying is true, bro. And I mean, this is why again I said before you even made that statement, I said, man, we have to be boots to the ground with this. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't just I can't sit back and go, all right, the Moors in America got it. They'll fight the battles for me. Man, nah. That's not how this thing works. This thing works by ones being upright, independent, and fearless. But you have ones that are bent over, scary, and codependent.
Man, yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean? And like that's the truth. Like say, man, let me tell you something. I love black love. I love black man, black woman, black baby. That's me. I love it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, man, I don't rock with the man that can't support the husband. I mean, the wife, or vice versa. I don't think we make it like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about monetary. I'm talking about the concept of we have to work this thing collectively on all aspects and on all facets. And you don't have that right now in 2019. There's, you might have, the bad thing is, I might get in trouble for saying this, but I'm going to say it. The woman is so independent now, she upright and fearless. So the so-called man is so demasculinized, he don't know nothing but to depend on the woman. I hear too many guys too many times. Oh, my old lady got a good job. My old lady got a good job.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, do you have a bad job at least to go with that old lady's good job?
Yeah.
Right? No, my baby take care of me. I just got to do a little something here and there. Nah, bro. That's not how this works.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yourself up.
Yeah, man. Because she's going to become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And then when she meets me, she thinks she going to be able to flex that strength on me. Oh,
Yeah.
no. No, I love your strength, sister. I do. It's quite flattering. But wait a minute. I'm just as upright and independent as you.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is why our prophet said we have to learn to love instead of hate. Because don't nobody love to be in hell, man. I don't think.
Yep.
But I think the so-called black mindset, I think they feel that the struggle is part of the consciousness. And I don't agree with that one bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you know what? You see that, like, falling in love with that part of it, man. Like, there's a whole like an African American center here where I'm at, and like, I'm not trying to knock it, but they got the whole inside decked out like a slave ship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like falling in love with that,
Man,
in love with that whole story, that whole being the underdog and all that stuff, man.
The European probably gave him money to build that. Probably told him it was a great idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that goes along with keeping you dumbfounded, keeping you dumbed down. Right?
Yeah.
And so where we are right now is, the prophet is telling us, man, look, man, if I could just get you to think, you'll free yourself. Every one of us has our own situation that we're going to have to come up out of. The temple is just the doorway for us to be able to do that. There is no application for nationality. It's a registration form for you to be registered.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's for. It's for registration. There's no application. Monthly dues. I know it seems outrageous, and maybe that's why people really don't respect the movement, because they would rather give Molden Bey $400 or more for a nationality document as opposed to Molden Bey giving you a registration form and saying, give me a $17 money order.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the thinking. That's the thinking that, $17, I can't, that ain't real. That's not real. How I'm gonna get my nationality for $17?
Yeah.
And so what they do is they don't believe it. So they keep searching. Then they want to tell me, but I found this brother and he told me he was going to give me a naturalization card and a naturalization document, and he was going to charge me $500. All right, I know you didn't do that. Well, yeah, I went ahead and gave him that $500 because I need that naturalization.
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
Most people
If they
don't
even
even
get
know.
the documents, though.
Yeah, man, I'm like, and all it is some fancy looking stuff that nobody in no county recorder's office is going to accept.
Yeah.
Man, those people take stuff in black and white. They don't want to see no fancy borders, Six Flags all on the bottom, all this fancy little, funny little old English. Man, get out of here with that.
And they mixing all the ideologies into it too.
You got everybody's stuff, and you got Clock of Destiny, Taj Tariq Bey. You
Yeah.
got just got his card yesterday Bey. All this stuff in there. Man, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, yeah. People don't realize that, like, because I know everybody pretty much got the same declaration, that's circulating around, and they don't even realize, like you're not even a part of those societies. They really don't want you rocking with that stuff. Like Clock of Destiny,
Yeah, man.
they don't really want that stuff out there because they have their own thing going, and so like
Yep.
that's why somebody asked though in the chat. Can you explain the importance of the theocratic monarchy style of government that our prophet left for Moorish Americans?
Yeah, it's simple. One temple, one prophet, and one God. Theocratic relates to the concept that there's a divine ruler over the monarchy. Monarchy being one body, one prophet, one temple, one God. There is no separate demonstrations, man. But what we have, I'm trying my best to not call out any names to offend and get a bunch of phone calls all night tonight.
Yeah.
But I know what I'm saying to be true. There is only one Moorish Science Temple of America. There is no other. The only other one came about when E. Mealy L. and C. Kirkman Bey went to court not once, not twice, not three, but 4 separate times. And the Moorish Science Temple of America, who was being led by E. Mealy L., who was appointed by the prophet, won all the courts found in his favor 4 separate times. That right there told me, like, bro, anybody that's going without the Moorish Science Temple of America, you are not with the Moorish Science Temple of America. Bottom line. Now, I can't say that if you come up through Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated under the tutelage of one C. Kirkman Bey, man, I'm gonna tell you, you're probably more a little bit more up to date than even here on this side. Because C. Kirkman Bey, after that third court case, C. Kirkman Bey got up on his camel, man. He got busy.
Yeah.
And he propagated the faith.
Yeah, he actually set up the colonies.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, hey, I'm not gonna get into all of the rumors and all of that other nonsense. I'm gonna keep with the fact, and I'm gonna keep it real that C. Kirkman Bey got busy on getting that temple for his sake up and gone. And most of us should be thankful for that.
Islam.
Right? If not for C. Kirkman Bey and others going into the prison systems and taking the lessons of the prophet into the prison systems, some of us would have never got the lessons, man. That's just being honest. We wouldn't have been able to still be able to hear things related to the Moorish Science Temple of America if it wasn't for C. Kirkman Bey, Art German Bey, and Sister Christina Price Bey. I know that just from history.
Islam.
And but I'm not going to honor them without showing true respect and honor to the prophet and who the prophet said, this is who is going to lead my movement. He didn't leave neither one of them. Those were ones that left the prophet. That's why I ask when people people come into the grand body and then leave the grand body and then ask me if I want to come rock with them and what they got going on. Man, I don't leave a grand body to go to grand folly. That's crazy. Why would I do that? Because you're unhappy with the leadership and the way it's running over here? Okay, cool. You know how many people go to a job every day, they unhappy with the leadership and the job they go to? I'm going to one right now. Just left one. You feel me?
Islam.
So I mean, come on, man. Everybody know two wrongs don't make a right. And anybody who's not prepared to do the work, you'll leave to go start your own McDowell's as opposed to staying at McDonald's and making McDonald's work better.
Yeah. Well, flip flopping, man, that's lame, you know.
But I'm lame. Lame is, you know, I'm cool at McDonald's. You know, McDonald's is gonna take care of me despite the fact that this is a not so good McDonald's, man. Right? But why would I go to McDowell's to go over there? And you can't even, just because you think it's prettier, just because you think it's newer, and then when I get over here, I'm like, man, this is smaller than where I left. I get over here and we had 3 ovens. You only have 1.
Islam.
Like, how you going to keep up with demand with the demand, and you're not in full preparation? But you want to go and you want to start something else for the people? Man, nah, that's confusion. That's folly. That's folly. And they know it. And they only do it because of weak leadership. And you think you can get away with it. And that's why I say, if we were a gang, a lot of this would be cleaned up, bro. Straight up. A lot of this would be cleaned up. But ones are happy with letting ones become self-appointed and blow smoke up they fez.
Okay, on that note, I'm about to have to get off of here. I'm gonna ask one more question from the chat. All right, we had somebody just asked basically, what will it take for us to be one? Just in your opinion.
Unity. We got to unite. We got to agree to disagree. We got to come together. We have to come together. We can't keep back and saying, oh, it takes a village to raise a child. But every time I go to do something to the child, you telling me, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. Or when I go to say to you, hey, it's your turn to watch the child. Oh, I can't do it, man. I BET on. Man, we got to unite. When we decide to come together for the one common cause and share it, then we can get it. But right now, it ain't it. We don't have a common cause that nobody shares.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna ask one more question. Look, in line with that, like, okay, do you think Moors need to be a member of the temple to be a part of the Moorish divine and national movement, and especially, like, you know, in light of our government?
Emphatically, yes. But I hope that when I answer this question, you can understand why. You can't be a citizen of the Moorish Divine National Movement without being a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Can you say that again?
Sure. You cannot be a citizen, capital C citizen at that, of the Moorish Divine National Movement without being a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So in theory, a member of the religious organization is a member of the free national government.
Islam.
You know? So you need one with the other. And I admit, one should be doing better. And maybe we need to focus on the other for a little while. maybe if we start focusing on ones being a grand governor instead of a grand sheik, you can get more governance done. Everybody want to be Creflo Dollar and TD Jakes. Everybody want to get to the podium and preach. Molden Bey ain't, man, I can care less about your preaching. You can keep all that. Start teaching. Start reaching. Put some money up. You know, all this loud little rah-rah, man, get on with that. Get on with that, man. All the unnecessary topics for debate that is getting us nowhere. Move around, man.
Islam.
You know, and you can tell the Molden Bey said that. But I say again, man, gratitude to you. I know somebody need to be in the bed reading a book, so hopefully nobody get in trouble for this. But you know, I just want to try to dispel a lot of the confusion, man. There's a lot of confusion out here right now, and so I thank you for the opportunity to do it. Hopefully, I didn't make any more of a mess, and hopefully I answered. You know what I'm saying? In a manner that ones can understand.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for providing that clarity. I know it's well appreciated. It looks like you answered another question too in there. Somebody had asked what our creed is, you know, what the prophet's creed is. So thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. We're gonna run it back. We're gonna do Moorish Mondays again. If you haven't seen the other ones, go through the channel and check them out. Let's I'm gonna put your email in the chat. Is that all right?
Throw the Instagram up first, man. I don't want no. I mean, cause they blew me up in the email.
All right.
They blew the email up. But you know what? Go ahead, man. Either or. Throw my social media up too, and throw the email up.
All right. Let them know where you at, so they know how to get in touch with you. Cause
man, I'm on the gram instantly at Molden Bey. But you'll see at Bay TV because we gonna bring the Bays out. We gonna make a whole channel of it. I'm gonna work with this more, and we're gonna build up a whole Moorish network. Molden Bey, MOLDENBEY. I'm on Twitter too. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm trying to handle business. I don't have time for your Snapgram, Snapchat, whatever that is. I don't do that, and I definitely don't do Facebook.
I let them know what part of the country you in.
I'm in the South, man. I'm in Texas. I'm in the southern region though.
Texas is big. You the whole Texas. You the grand governor, right?
Yeah.
Let them know.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. We even tap in Oklahoma and California right now too, brother. So, but yeah, okay. We out here.
Okay, that's what's up, man. And I thank you again for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for sharing this video. We'll run it back. I just want to say thanks. We're going to go ahead and shut it down for now. Make sure you tune in, subscribe so you can catch the next Moorish Monday. I put the Instagram for Sheik Molden Bey in the chat. You can get in touch with them there. Peace, Islam, everybody out there.
Peace and love.